Hello everyone, welcome to Club Deck Corner here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. We are live on YouTube and on Twitter tonight, but get yourself over to the YouTube channel, get yourself subscribed and get yourself involved in the live chat as we go from the park to the well. My name is Scott Carney and joining me tonight is a full house and it's like old school times. Ali Pearson, how are you?
Not bad. I don't know the last time all four of us were on at the same time.
A long time ago.
Clement years, was it? The Clement years?
Yeah.
Aye, no, good to have the four of us on. Big, massive week for Rangers. Obviously, tomorrow starts. I've got the Hearts game on the background as we speak, so I'll bring the goals.
Very unprofessional of you, Ali. Very unprofessional. No. You should be fully concentrated.
Well, to be fair, this game relates to us in terms of the league, so it does matter tonight. So I will keep my eyes on it. But yes, good to have the old gang back.
The old gang back together. Scott Gemmell, Scotia, how are you?
Yeah, evening, Connie. I'm all right. Evening, lads. Evening, all the listeners and whatnot. Yeah, I'm good. Busy day at work, but looking forward to tonight. As you say, old school things. When you flung the agenda through actually earlier today, Connie, I was looking at it, and I think maybe one of the last times we've done a pod, there's a couple of these points that you've got on the agenda that we probably discussed round about that time. If I'm not mistaken.
But I don't even remember the agenda from like last week, so I mean, you've got no chance of remembering the agenda from like way back then.
There's one point that you're going to raise later that I know all four of us have sat and discussed before, so I could probably tell you what each of your answers are going to be to the question that you'll ask. Oh, the question you'll maybe ask about it.
Is it James Tavernier? Did I put James Tavernier in it?
No,
it's the allocation, isn't it, Gemmell? It's the
allocation.
Right. Okay, I see. I was like, it's not James Tavernier because Ryan's on. I can't talk about James Tavernier because be positive tonight, so I can't talk about that. Ryan Haymarch, how are you, mate?
I'm good, boys. Good to see you. It's all on together. Good to see everything in the chat. I've not quite got to the Take That documentary on Netflix, but this is probably our version of it. Take That back together. I would say Scotia's probably about how old.
We're more handsome. We're definitely more handsome.
Definitely more handsome. I don't know who's Robbie and Gary out of you two, but I'll take Marco and I'll take the wee guy since my height's not exactly in my favour. Anyway, enough of that blubber talk. Evening, everybody.
Yeah, what a start! That's good. Take that, mate. We've not been called Take That before. We've been called a lot of things, but every time I think about this, just goes completely off topic. Every time like I see like Take That and I see like from them back in the day, I'm just always reminded by something my dad used to say to my sister, and it used to drive her up, like literally up the wall. And instead of calling him Take That, and you know what my dad was like, you all know my dad and what he was like. He used to call them Give This instead of Take That, and I can't get it out of my head, and it used to drive her mental. So that every time I see Take That, that's all I think about. So yeah, that's a wee happy memory. But yeah, so yeah, look, obviously a lot to get through tonight. Obviously a massively important game coming up for Rangers, not only tomorrow night but also on Sunday, but we'll concentrate more on tomorrow night's. I'm obviously a rather pleased 8-0 victory to discuss as well. But before I do that, Ryan, you are raising money for charity, so the floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, so obviously we're live night at the Viceroy. What was that, a month ago now? Circa a month ago. Yeah. And we raised quite a bit of money for the Rangers Charity Foundation. We'll try to get a bit back to those guys because they're so supportive of the pod and great at giving us items. So we had a raffle and for certain prizes. Some guys will be there that are in the chat tonight are listening. We had a great night. But as always, we had one of those awkward moments where one of us actually won the signed Rangers top. That one person was me. It's very awkward. I knew straight away if I was going to get any prize, it was going to get put back in. I would usually put it back in, and whoever is at the night, they can just raffle it off again. But what I did for a change was I wanted to get it raffled off for Cancer Research Carney. So I am doing a raffle at the moment. I've put it on my social media. I'm not great with social media because I'm not on Facebook, but you can get me on Instagram and Twitter, X, whatever you want to refer to it as. If I can get as many people as I can involved with this. There's about 50 numbers away just now. If I can get the other 50 sold, it's £10 a number. I'm going to raffle off at 9 a.m. on the 1st of March before the Old Firm game. I'll put the draw live up on the socials, and then somebody can win this home shirt signed by the full first team, donated to us by the Rangers Charity Foundation. If I can get as many people involved in that, it would mean a lot to me and a lot to us boys and a lot to the pod. So it's, as I said, 10 a ball. I'll do the draw on the 1st of March, and just as many people get involved as possible, that would be great.
Absolutely, and make sure I put it up on the pod socials as well, mate, so everybody sees it once you do the draw, mate. So yes, just get in touch with Ryan. It's been retweeted on my Twitter and stuff. If I remember, Ryan, I'll sort of post out on the Facebook channel tonight. The YouTube channel tonight, mate. I'll put a post up and everybody can go there. So if you can, a great cause, that shirt might be worth something considering how this season could be turning out. So you never know. And before anybody says Nadiri, Chukwani, the 4 new signings are not on it, unfortunately, because we got that before they came in the building. So unfortunately, that didn't happen. I think we got it towards the end of December. I think
Cavaliers is definitely on it. So probably, it's just not for this household. That's all I'm saying.
Is Matondo's on it?
Yeah, probably.
Listen, if anybody needs it, if the winner wants us to sign it, it's not a problem. Like Scotia could sign it, whatever. I don't know what squad number we're going for, but we can all sign it. That's no problem.
I'm going to guess Scotia's squad number was 4. Scotia, what was your squad number when you played football?
I guess it was
2, 3, and 5. I think it was. I don't think I ever had 4.
Of course it was.
235.
2 and 5. 2 and 5. 3 was always the left back, so it was always 2, either 5 or 2. Aye.
Mine was usually 14 or 15 because I very rarely started games. So yeah, I was like 14 or 15 kind of was what I went for. I'd have loved to have been 11, but I was never good enough to be a number 11. Ali, did you have a squad number?
I don't think so back in the day. No. If it was outside 11 probably. It would be something like 12 or 13, I don't know.
Yeah. And Ryan, you the same, 14, 15, 16, something like that?
Yeah, 15, bench warmer, Carney.
Yeah, there's a reason we're all approaching some in our 40s and approaching our 40s sitting doing a podcast after an unsuccessful footballing career. Yes, but look, let's go on to Rangers things. That's enough. Sorry, everybody. We'll start with the walk in the park. That was the 8-0 drubbing of Queen's Park. Ali, it was just massively important for Rangers not to make Sunday a thing. It was just get out there, be professional about your work, get the job done nice and early, rotate where you have to, etc., and 8 goals. Can't ask for much more than that.
No, it was probably a perfect day for Rangers. It's one of those, similar to the Annan game, it's a kind of no-win situation in terms of fans expect to go there and Rangers to rattle goals past Queen's Park. So, yeah, it was... especially after the year before, could lightning strike twice? And it definitely didn't for Queen's Park. And their goalkeeper, who had the game of his life a year ago, and he didn't have the game of his life this time. I thought Rangers were very professional on the front foot for the first minute. 5 goals at half-time. You thought, would they take their foot off the gas in the second half, which you see quite a lot, and especially with changes, but they didn't. Rangers, they kept going to the final minutes and got a lot of goals. The new boys got minutes in their legs. I think you gave Chukwani man of the match. I think he was very good. Chukwani won a lot of second balls. Good to see Olsen get more minutes under his belt. Roman's a left back, which we're all, he's your left back going forward. And the big man, Nadiri, first start Ibrox, 2 goals, 2 headers as well. When was the last time we had a striker that scored headers? Going back to Mark Haley, maybe. But I thought it was a very professional performance by Rangers, and that's now 13 goals in 2 games. I know we conceded 1, but that was, I don't count that because Jack Butland flung that in the net for us. But a very, very good day's work for Rangers, Carney, and there was no injuries as well, which was good. So, yes, good to into the next round.
Yeah, all positive, Scotia, really, from it. There was no can't really have a negative when you're 3 up within 30 minutes. We're literally in cruise control. Ryan Nadiri, obviously getting himself off the mark, and things like that are important. It couldn't have came for a better time from him. He made a pretty decent appearance for himself when we first seen him. He then then starts the game against Queen's Park, gets himself 2 goals, and the rest was just kind of ticky box. Was there anybody in particular that stood out for you? Anybody that you were surprised that kind of showed up a ton of form, or was it just business and job done?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would say Ant-Man again, Kenny, impressed a wee bit, considering certainly where he'd Kenny, after his debut, that obviously we discussed on here in Ali, he'd put all the money in the world that he had on him, being a absolutely cracking Rangers player, and then he kind of fell off a cliff, get coached by obviously Martin. That didn't help, I would imagine. But I thought his performance again kind of showed that he might be able to kick on again now, and maybe we'll see a bit more of what we did see in that debut from him. But overall, it was a really professional job, like Ali says. Kind of one of these ones that is the routinest of routine cup wins. Kind of what you want to see when you go to a cup game. Like you said there, we score our first within inside 10 minutes, our second within inside 20 minutes, our third within the half hour, then another few before the 40th, and then we were 6-0 up by 50 minutes. Job done. Good to see that we were trying a slightly different formation to start with as well. And then when he did begin to make changes, Danny Röhl, in the second half, we also then seen a wee slightly different formation that we've not seen. We've seen it once or twice, that 3-5-2, 5-3-2 type formation. But it was interesting what he done there, and that gave me sort of question marks about where we could see going forwards, because I'd completely run out of my mind that Ant-Man plays as a right wing back for Finland on occasion. So yeah, it was just one of these games where we experimented a wee bit, which it's ideal to do at this stage of the season, because we've got massive games coming up over the next month or so.
Absolutely. I was slightly harsh, I think, on Ant-Man on reflection of the game. He was actually pretty good after kind of watching the highlights back of the game. He was actually okay. And again, you kind of put me firmly and he gave me a check, made me check myself, Scotia, when we were on the concourse, and I said, he's kind of doing the same thing. And you were like, well, he's not a left winger. And I went, that's a very good point, mate. He's not a left winger. Because he kept doing the check back thing. And I was like, right, he's figured that out, maybe try to do something else. But yeah, no, he was pretty good. There was nobody that was particularly poor. I thought Miovski was non-existent, but then he scored, and you're like, well, there you go, you're a Rangers striker and you've got your goal, so fair enough. Ryan, James Tavernier gets a hat-trick, mate. You must have been delighted.
It's not a hat-trick, is it, Carney? The keeper punches in the back of the net. It's 2 goals.
It's one of those ones, but it's one of those ones, though, that you're like, Tav didn't shoot. Well, I doubt he took a shot, right, from the corner, so he's kind of over-whipped the ball. I mean, and I'm not taking anything away from James Tavernier because I like him, but I was like, can you class that? I suppose you kind of have to. I suppose the keeper just makes a hood and arse of it, I suppose, and it is technically on target. So
he's listen, anything he scores for Rangers, I'm absolutely delighted. It's simple as that. He's playing for Rangers and he's got the captain's armband, so absolutely delighted when he scores for Rangers. That's the kind of game I expect to see the best of James Tavernier. When he has bad games, a bad performance in a game like that, that'd be a massive concern for me. So I think you're seeing probably how Röhl would utilise Tavernier in these games. That I thought he had a good game. Tavernier obviously topped it up with his goals, but I thought overall he had a good performance. Gave the ball away a couple of times, but he had a good game. But these type of games, Carney, is exactly what I see. We've come out of this with so many positives instead of the scrape of like a 3-0 victory, and we're like, oh God, it wasn't great, was it? We didn't play that well. Röhl has spoke about Rangers hunting. I thought Rangers were hunting constantly at the weekend, or hunting for goals. We were constantly on the attack. There was people moving off the ball. It wasn't that static way where every player just fixed to their position. They looked hungry for goals, and I think you can see confidence going, breathing right throughout the team at the moment. And it's great for new signs like Nadiri and Chikwani, where they're starting to find their feet. Yes, it's only Queen's Park. I'm not getting carried away myself, but Rangers scoring 8 goals. I think that's the first time in, I don't know, did someone say it since we beat Keith in like the 90s? I might be wrong. I think it is, by the way.
God. Yeah. Did we not put 8 by Hamilton on the COVID season? Was that 8?
That was sorry, I'll correct myself, in a cup game. I think Hamilton was a league game. So I think it's the first time they've done that against kind of lower opposition. Games that you'd expect them to score a lot of goals is probably what I'm getting to. But for me, it was a really good performance. I think professional is underdoing it a bit. It's not like me to just come out with the optimistic hat on, Carney. I think professional is underselling it a wee bit. I thought Rangers were very good, got the job done, yes, but they were relentless. They looked as if they played another half hour, they would score another 4 or 5 goals. So I was very happy with the performance at the weekend.
I think you could see it from Danny Röhl on the side of the pitch, mate. Even at 3-0, there was no let up from him. He was like, if somebody was half-arsing a press, he was making them aware that no, you don't half-arse that. You keep going and you press him, and we pressed him pretty much the entire game. So yeah, you're maybe right there, mate. But look, it was just important for it not to become a thing, and it didn't become a thing. It was just Rangers well and truly took care of business, and we rolled on into the draw. And the draw was made, and Rangers have been drawn at home against them in the quarter-final at Ibrox, due to be played on the 7th or 8th of March. I seen on Google when I checked fixtures yesterday. Was it yesterday or today? I can't remember. But it said the 7th of March, so I don't know if that's actually confirmed or not, or if it's just been put in as that. But that would be the Saturday, obviously. So, but Ali, the age-old conversation, as Scotia's quite right, the allocation, because they're due 20% of Ibrox. That's the way it works. Police Scotland have said, work it out amongst yourselves. Obviously, for the week, the game before, the cup final game, the quarter-final game even, Celtic will have just that little corner, should they choose to accept tickets, which I don't know if they have or they haven't. I'm presuming they have. But what do we see happening here? Are they going to get the full Broom loan? Because I think that's pretty much the allocation. I think would be that entire Broom loan stand. I don't think the European allocation is quite enough in terms of the corner plus the stretch up into the Broom loan. So what do you see transpiring here, mate? And the draw itself, good time or a bad time to get them?
Good time. See when I seen them got that 96, 97th minute win, whatever it was, against Dundee, which they always do. I mean, folk can say it was added time, but they always do it. Them and Man United historically have been teams that do that all the time, so I wasn't shocked to see that. But when the draw came, I wanted them at Ibrox. That was the one I wanted. We don't have a great record against them at Hampden, as we all know. For the team, I don't know how many times we've been to Hampden recently and been on the wrong end of it. So yeah, Ibrox was the one you wanted. You looked at the ties as well before that game in terms of Celtic. They're away to Stuttgart, they're at home, they're away to Rangers, they're away to Aberdeen, and then this cup tie. So it's 4 away trips for them in a row, which isn't great for them. Yeah, that was the one I wanted. And if you want to win the Scottish Cup, you're going to have to beat Celtic at some point, let's be honest about it. So we might as well do it in the quarterfinals. But allocation, the Broom loan, I think the Broom loan holds between 7,000 and 8,000 supporters, I think the Broom loan is. The allocation they get at the moment is the European allocation, which is about 2,500 with a corner creeping into the Broom loan. I would assume, and they're entitled to up to 20%. It doesn't mean they have to get 20%. It's up to 20%. But I think they'll get the Broom loan, the full Broom loan. I don't think they'll get the corner. I think they'll use that to segregate. If they were to get the full 10,000, they would need to creep into the Govan, which won't happen, especially with segregation. So I think between us, Celtic, and the Coppers, who have said fight it out amongst yourselves, which they will have a say in it, I think they'll get the Broom loan, because historically they've managed to police the Broom loan. They put the barriers up, etc., and they come in that side. So I expect Celtic to get the Broom loan, and it will be back to the old days where Mr. Haymarch misses.
Yeah, I think it will be as well, to be honest. I think that's the only thing that I'd imagine they'll settle for. In order to take allocation, they'll be expecting to get the full stand back, and it will be like days of old. And we've been round about many times, Scotia, in terms of the allocation, about what we do moving forward. Ultimately, the story is that Rangers sold season tickets in there, which included Old Firm games. So ultimately, it's never going to change, really, because they're not going to take these season tickets off the people that bought them. Rightly or wrongly, that's just the way that the cookies crumbled there, and there's not much you can do about that. But in terms of the draw as well, Scotia, I would probably go along the lines with Ali. If there's a time to get them, it'd be better to get them at Ibrox than at Hampden, mate. So yeah, I'll take it. We need to beat them to win the cup.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get that fixture, then playing them in this stage at Ibrox, that's the ideal one, rather than playing them either at Parkhead or, like you say, at Hampden. I wasn't really that bothered who we got in the next round, because, like Ali says, you're more than likely going to have to beat you like Celtic if you're going to go on and lift the trophy at the end of the season. I wasn't overly bothered there, but the game's come up. Unfortunately, though, it's come up, and I'm working that weekend, so I won't make it. So I've already kind of given my ticket away because obviously the game previously I've had to kind of wiggle things around at work to make that game. So I don't think I'll be able to do the same 2 weeks in a row, unfortunately. So I'll just be watching it on my phone.
Scotia,
no doubt.
It's Premier Sports, remember, so it could be Sunday at fucking 11:45 or something.
It could be.
You never know what they'll do.
You never know. I know.
Very true. Aye, because at that stage, would they still have a Friday night or a Monday night game, or is it just the Saturday and Sunday they play?
I would imagine it'll only be when Celtic away. Are they playing on the Thursday before it? Or the Wednesday?
Aberdeen on the Wednesday.
Aberdeen on the Wednesday.
So
It'll be the Sunday. It will be the Sunday.
Saturday or Sunday, then yeah, will be the
More than
Sunday.
that. But either way, I'm working the Saturday and the Sunday and the Monday, so it's a no-go for me, unfortunately.
Who'd you give your ticket to? Don't say Mahal.
No, I've put it in the group chat. I think Lee's already kind of claimed it.
So right. I thought it was going to be Mahal, mate. I was like,
I'll wait to see. I'll wait to see till the money comes out, and then I'll. Well, he was at he took my ticket for the. What game was that? The Dundee game.
Kelly game.
We won.
Kelly game.
Was it the Kelly game? Aye. So I know the few times Mahal's bought my ticket, it has been defeats. Yeah, so
we were poor in the first half. We were poor in the first half though, and I kicked him out at half time, mate. That's why we were good. I threw him down the club deck stairs at half time, mate. So that's why we were good in the second half.
Yeah, good. Yeah, in terms of the allocation itself, like I'd kind of mentioned at the top of the show, I think we have discussed this before. I'm kind of where I sit is probably I would be quite content with them getting like the European allocation, so the wee corner and about a third of the Broomlin. But I don't think that'll happen purely down to policing matters. I don't think they'll be too happy with having to kind of segregate the Broomlin stand a bit. So I like you, I think they'll probably will get the whole Broomlin. That obviously leaves them short of the 20%. Sorry, allocation. I did see someone when I was scrolling through Twitter the other day, someone demanding the Govan. They wanted the Govan because. Obviously, that will hold more. Like, no, not a chance. Yeah, it'll probably be the Broomlin, but it's funny now that they're all scrambling for tickets when they had their big boycott the other day. You know, it's the nature of the beast, mate. And it's as soon as an Old Firm game pops up, then tickets do become a wee bit like gold dust. That's another wee bit that's a bit gutting. We're going to have to split this ticket sales 50-50 with them. No big fan of that, to be honest. I don't mind it when it's like a lower division team and stuff like that, right? That doesn't bother me. But if it's when it's with them, nah, no thank you. But I'm looking forward to it regardless, mate.
They all just want to come to the Premier Stadium in Scotland, mate. Let's be honest. So they're all desperate to get a ticket for it. Ryan, there's no time like the present, I suppose, to get them. We're both teams are entering a pretty difficult run of fixtures. The start for Celtics is slightly more pleasing on the eye for them, I suppose, than it is for what we have coming up in the next couple of games. But after that, it's pretty crucial games for pretty much everyone. But I'm again, I'm just repainting the wall here. But I would rather have them at Ibrox than at Hampden, and I would rather get them now and hope that it clears a path at least for us straight to the final.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, you want to win the trophy. You want to win the Scottish Cup this season. So to win that, you need to beat them. As simple as that. And that if you had a pick of it, would it be semi-finals, quarters, or the final? Yeah, it'd be nice to beat them in the final. But I agree with Ali. Our record at Hampden isn't great against them at the moment. So I'm a lot more comfortable playing them at Celtic Park or at Ibrox. So I am personally delighted with the fixture. I also think it comes at a good part of the season where we are just starting to up the gears by the looks of it. Röhl-ing is playing a totally different way. He's accumulating wins, and we've got them the week before, which I love. I love when it's an Old Firm double header like that. Form tells you that usually who wins the first game wins the second game. That's been a pattern throughout the years. So if we win the first game, it'd be a great marker to think we can go and do the double against them and pretty much end the season But the other flip of the coin is they can do it to us as well. So
Yeah.
the players need to be on it, but they must be so hungry for it. This is what they've came to Rangers for. These games are absolutely massive, and that kind of joke of an Old Firm game, if you want to call it that, at the beginning of the season will be nothing compared to what these two are going to be like. They're going to be colossal, can't they, because of the way the seasons went. Everything, the form of Martin being in, the disaster that we had at the beginning of the season, their carry on with Rodgers, with Wilfred Nancy, it will all go out the window come 1st of March, 8th of March, 7th of March, whatever it's going to be. So these two games are massive and they're mouth-watering, can't they? They're absolutely mouth-watering. I can't wait for them. The allocation, the way I look at it, and I've been on this a few times, Scotia's remembered it well, I always want them in the full Brimlin because the atmosphere it creates, I think we react to it in the stadium. I think when they've got 1,000 fans in the corner, I barely notice it as an Old Firm game at times. There's just something, if you want to say, like the kind of toxic atmosphere of an Old Firm game, that special feeling of just, I'm not going to muck about, it's pure hatred. Nothing comes close to it. When they are all in that Brimlin, I love it. The hairs in the back of my neck stand up. I cannot wait to get in there. However, things are different now. If I say they should get the full Brimlin, I'll probably get absolutely leered the next time. So it's such a difficult one because if we were going to Parkhead, boys, we would be entitled to 12,000 tickets. They're 60,000, aren't they? So 12,000 tickets we would be able to apply for. So we would be asking for 7,500 tickets. So it's a kind of catch-22. You can't say, oh, I don't want them having that amount of tickets, but then when it comes to us playing at Parkhead, yeah, we're happy with 500 or 1,000 tickets. So times have changed with Rangers and Celtic in the league. But I wonder if Rangers will kind of gauge who's signed up to the CCCS or the tick to every home game box and a season ticket, and then gauge it from how many seats are available to move people out of Brimlin. They might do something like that, I don't know. But I would guess that it will be the European allocation of, I think it was Scotia that said it, the corner, and then the first section, they give them upstairs and downstairs. That would be my guess, that's what they'll get, so that they don't upset the Rangers fans in the room. And I think that's what will probably be the kind of logical decision that will be made, especially the way things have been between Rangers and Celtic with this allocation. So maybe give them the Brimlin if you want.
It's a mouth-watering run of fixtures. It really is, and I think no matter what, I think tickets will be pretty hard to come by. But bring it on. As soon as I seen the draw be made, I was like, bring it on. I would rather have them at Ibrox than anywhere else. So absolutely. Well, I suppose it's going to come out in the wash soon enough anyway about what the allocation is going to be. Jim Sloan, member for 42 months, mate. That's more than a prison sentence. You don't need to do 2 life sentences, mate. But thank you very much. That's very much appreciated. And good to see the band back together. It's been a while. We're just warming up the vocal tones, mate. We're settling back into form and dusting off the old glittery suits and whatever else, and we'll be back at it in no time. We'll move on quickly. Just a few things to wrap up. Danny Röhl was named manager of the month for January. And obviously the sponsors man, the player of the year, the men's player of the year for Rangers was Emmanuel Fernandez. Ali, what's impressed you about Danny Röhl? Obviously the results, we've only conceded 1 goal in the fixtures that were flashed up when it was announced as they shown in the league was 1 goal conceded, 4 wins. But I think there's a reason that I brought Fernandez up at the same time, because there is a wee bit of probably praise and admiration probably goes Danny Röhl's way for settling down Fernandez and kind of bringing out the best of him, because at first we were very unsure of him, and now he's very much, when he's fit, the very, very, very much the first defender that we put on our team sheet. So obviously your thoughts on the two of them, but what's impressed you about Danny Röhl?
Oh Christ, a lot, to be honest. I mean, when he came into Rangers, he said he inherited pretty much a broken team, if you want to say. No confidence in that team. He's built their confidence up game by game. I like that. He takes game by game. He doesn't look too far ahead. A cool character. I think he's very well media trained. A lot of the Scottish journalists try and throw stuff at him, and he doesn't give them anything, unlike Russell Martin a few months ago that was given headline after headline. He goes about his business quietly for me, Danny Röhl, and it's been quite impressive on the park with a group of players that we said best part of 4 months ago was probably one of the worst Rangers teams we've seen in years, and he's getting a tune out with certain players, not scared to change it, flexible in his formation at times. Yeah, he's. I think we all gave him a mark out of 10 a good few months ago. Carl, I gave him 6.5 back then, but he's grown to a 7.5 with me now, Danny Röhl. The big test for me is these games coming up, these big games. Can he pass them? Can he pass tomorrow night? Can he pass the game on Sunday against Hearts? And then you look to the Celtic games as well. They're big games. Can he do it? But he's got us to a point that I never thought would be at. And I said it at the live show. If somebody told me at the live show we'd be sitting where we were, I wouldn't have believed it. I really wouldn't have believed it. I had us out the title race months ago. And I hope I'm completely wrong at the end of the season, Carney. I really do. But he's given us something to believe in. I think the board's backed him in January with the calibre of player they've brought in, because they've seen Danny Röhl's getting something with the players that he inherited. They've added better players. But yeah, so far so good by Danny Röhl. He's passed a lot of challenges for me, but his biggest challenge is coming up, and it starts tomorrow night.
Scotia, I don't think it's a coincidence that Fernandes is getting praise as well at the same time as Danny Röhl. I think he's quite clearly bringing out the best in some players. The likes of Schmidt, he's improved. It was probably always likely to, yes, but I think with the way Danny Röhl's approach things in terms of tactically, in terms of how we choose to play, digging out results, building morale, making it very much that it's a team thing. He's kind of making sure everybody feels fully involved in this, and he's trying to get the fans fully involved in the same sort of way. But I think you have to give him credit as well for the likes of Fernandes taking leaps and bounds forward and resulting in him being named, as I say, the Rangers sponsors player of the month.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Fernandes, it's almost like a microcosm of how Rangers have improved. It's like sort of game-by-game improvement, and you can visibly see the improvements game by game and things like that. And like Ali said there, Fernandes is now probably one of your favoured centre-backs. I think, I know a couple of weeks ago, maybe we'd said that our preferred pairing at the minute would be Suter and Fernandes. But even in the couple of weeks since we've done that, Giga's put in a good few performances recently that he wasn't putting in earlier in the season. So no, I've been really impressed with Danny Röhl. I can't remember what mark I gave him, Ali, but it was round about 7, I think 7.5. I think we asked it twice and I went up to 7.5. That was just before the Hearts game. And then the Hearts game was pretty disappointing, if I'm being honest. I thought we kind of, not capitulated, but we didn't play as well as I thought we could play, and that was disappointing. So for me, that's now the big, like Ali said, there's an awful lot of important games coming up, but the big acid test for me with Danny Röhl is getting a result against Hearts to rein them back in a wee bit more for me, because like I say, I was disappointed with the result December against Hearts. One of the things that I actually quite liked that Danny Röhl done when he came in, now I know this player's now out on loan, but he brought Ciela back in from the Gold, because I think the way Martin treated him was pretty atrocious, if I'm being honest. I know he maybe wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but he just completely bombed him out the team and left them no man's land. But he brought him back in, and he started contributing a wee bit in his sort of cameo appearances that he made. I'll be repeating an awful lot of what Ali had said there, but I've been really impressed with Danny Röhl, and like I say, the acid test for me is probably this the game upcoming at the weekend. But there is a very, very important game prior to that as well that he needs to pass.
Yeah, Ryan, obviously, I think we're all looking at these two games, and I think Danny Röhl will be no different. What I like about Danny Röhl is the fact he's made it quite clear that it is game by game, and I think he'll have learned a lot from the wee mistakes that he's made, the wee bumps, I suppose, that we've had in the road. And no matter what way you want to look at it, we're in the title race now. The rest of Scottish football doesn't really want to acknowledge, I don't think anyway, in my opinion, don't really want to acknowledge that Rangers are really serious contenders now. He's just going along, getting his business done, not really talking about the gaps here's there, wherever. He's just going, right, well, it's the next game, but it's all about the next game. And even after the Queen's Park game, the way he spoke to the media, it was all, yeah, that was good. Yeah, team performance. Yeah, that was good. But you could tell he was already moved on. He was already past it. He was already looking forward to this game. And this the difference in our team and the difference in the feeling around the club from Martin to him is night and day. So for that alone, mate, he deserves Manager of the Month.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between a confident manager and an arrogant manager, which I think we have gone through a transition of having this season. Danny Röhl was very quiet in terms of what he wants to do, what he wants to go. When he first came in, he's now said it, but when he first came in, it was just about getting wins, getting the confidence back in the players, and he went about it very astutely. How he did it, I will never know. I think no matter how this season plays out, if we don't get where we want to be at the end of the season, he'll still get a lot of credit in the bank, because that watching this squad closely at Ibrox and on the telly for away games, etc., I had us down for finishing fourth, Carney. I'm putting my hand on my heart. When Ali ruled them out of the league, I was the same, and I was concerned that some of the games that we were drawing, we were lucky to draw. That's how poorly we were playing. We didn't control games. We didn't create chances. We were a bomb scare at the back. And how he's transformed that team before we've a window into title contenders, where we sit right now, is astonishing. It's not astonishing. But our Rangers fans were greedy. We need more. It's a win tomorrow night. It's a win Sunday. It's beat them twice. That's what we need. That's the standard, and that's partly why there was a kind of reaction at Ibrox last week, the midweek game at halftime, rightly or wrongly. And it's the nature of Rangers, Carney, and it's always about the next game. It's always about the next win. It's the next trophy, whatever we can do. But Danny Röhl, without a doubt, deserves that accolade of Manager of the Month. He navigated through a very difficult double-header. No matter where you think Aberdeen are or what kind of state they're in, whenever we play Aberdeen, we know what Aberdeen do. So navigating yourself through that was huge. And coming from behind at Celtic Park and winning 3-1 in their ground, which is only we've only won there 2 or 3 times in maybe about 10 years, 12 years, was massive as well. So there was no other contender to get Manager one, so he fully deserves it. And I am excited to see for the rest of the season what he's going to do. I'll just touch quickly on Manny. I love him. I love him, Cam. He's my player of the month so far. Player of the year, sorry, because I feel as if he's shut everyone up. This diddy-dallying he does on the ball, he doesn't lose the ball when he does it. When he does lose the ball in terms of loses his battle, he seems to recover very well. He's very quick. And I think I've seen a player who is confident in playing under this manager. Probably a reflection of the coaching staff that he's got standing over him. So delighted with Manny. Hope he's in the squad tomorrow, and he also deserves his player of the month as well.
Yeah, I really hope he's fit tomorrow night. I think by all accounts, I think he is fit, and he will play. And I just think Sunday as well was just like, well, there's absolutely no point in putting him in the squad. So yeah, he's pretty vital for us, and he's come on leaps and bounds. He really has. It is heart and mouth stuff when he does the wee taking his time moments. Yes, it really is hearts and mouth stuff, but he's just got better and better. He really has got better and better.
Just quickly, do you know who used to do that? Amaruso. Amaruso used to take people on all the time, and you'd be like, oh Jesus. Manny does it the same, and if he's going to be a player that's similar to Amaruso, then you're going to be happy, aren't you?
I think it was you, Scotia. Was it you that said that it was a bit like Amaruso? Was that you that said that? Somebody said that on the pod previously. I can't remember who it was. Don't think it was Scotia.
I can't remember if it was me, but yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. He's an Amo, Benny Boogie type player in that respect.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you, but I always felt a wee bit more confident with Boogie at the ball at his feet than I did with Amo. I don't know, but I think Amo's the better player.
Yeah, Boogie could have been a winger, but there's a difference. Amo was not a winger. Amo was a centre half, but Boogie could have played anywhere. But no, yeah, and he said just his aerial threat as well in the box. Honestly, like he's with him and Ryan Adiri, they're now both big guys. Like even John Suter's good at winning headers. He doesn't score very often, Suter, but he is good at winning headers. So we now all of a sudden we're a different beast to try and contain it. Set pieces at corners. Thank you very much, Mr. Muir. Very much appreciated. Bush Papa feels weird calling you that, not going to lie, but thank you so much, mate. Very much appreciated. You generally don't need to do that, but it's very much appreciated. So thank you very much. On to Motherwell now. Ali, the first of the big two games that we're all looking at. This will be a tough test for Rangers and Danny Röhl's squad. It's a little bit of a test, I think, in terms of where we're at. This is a Motherwell team that have not conceded a goal in the league since I think the end of October at Fir Park. So they're getting pretty good at keeping clean sheets at home. They've scored a number of goals as well. They are probably the team that everybody gives most credit to this season, I think, about the way that they play football, the kind of transformation in them that's been seen under their new manager. And it's going to be a real tough test. Motherwell will likely try and go man for man with Rangers, I think. So there's no doubt that tomorrow night is an absolute test. And it's a bit of a mouth-watering tie, I think it is. It's one of those ones that you're like, I've got my gander up for it already. I kind of want to get the shift out the way tomorrow, get home, get the kids settled, sit down and watch the football. And I'm very much looking forward to the game. But in order for Rangers to be successful, Ali, what do you think we need to do tomorrow night?
They can't have any of these laboured starts that we've had in first halves in the last couple of games. If they do that, then Motherwell come out of traps. You know how Motherwell play. Motherwell, and you've got to give that manager that came in for them credit. He's got them playing extremely well. I think, as you say, Carney, I think they've conceded the least amount of goals in the league. I think 17 goals or something. I think we're just behind them in 18. They've not conceded, as you said, since way back in October. They convincingly beat Celtic in their backyard as well. Played us off the park for the best part of 30 minutes at Ibrox, and we sneaked a 1-0 against them. So, yeah, it'll be difficult. But the way they play, Motherwell, they play out from the back, they play nice football. We've got guys that Nadiri up front, etc. Mikey Moore, guys that can press, that can nick the ball off them. The way they play should suit us, I think, on Wednesday. And I know it's Motherwell, I think, and Ryan keeps harping on about this. We need to get this bloody fear factor of going to Fir Park and Easter Road and Pittodrie out the way. I mean, if Rangers are on their game, Rangers should beat Motherwell. And no disrespect to Motherwell, because they've been playing extremely well this season. That goes for Celtic as well. If Celtic on their game, they should be going to Fir Park and winning. But if we want to be serious with this title, Carney, and I know Hibs was a slip-up, we need to go to Fir Park and get 3 points. We have to. The carrot's there for Rangers to go top of the league on Sunday, but they have to beat Motherwell first, and then we look to Hearts. But it's set up nicely. I think Motherwell will be a thorn in the split, if you want to say, between us, Hearts and Celtic. I think they'll take points off somebody in there. But tomorrow night, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Every game's massive at the moment. But they have to win this game tomorrow to be serious about winning this title. And I still expect us to drop somewhere. But with a carrot of going top of the league on Sunday, they have to beat Motherwell. So everyone's got to be in their game. And there'll be certain guys that I think will have to sit out this game tomorrow night. It'll be interesting what the teams will be. I think will be quite similar in terms of teams for tomorrow night. But they've got to be on it, Rangers. They can't start the way they have, because if they do, Motherwell will beat us.
Scotia, is it a must-win? Is it a game that to be serious title contenders, with the fact that Motherwell haven't been conceded a lot of games at home? And look, and I am very much on Ali's side, even when Motherwell started to get the praise at the start and we were building our momentum. The table doesn't lie, we are ahead of them. So there is that, but I was thinking that, no disrespect, and I don't mean it to be disrespectful, but it is Motherwell. We are Rangers. We should really be going there. We really should be winning the game. But I mean, would a draw there be the worst case scenario? Really, would it need to be a bit of probably a reality check? I think from would it be a reality check for Rangers fans to be like, oh, a draw maybe is not the worst case scenario, or am I just talking nonsense, mate? Jim Sloan, thank you so much. Again, you really don't need to do that, but it's very much appreciated, Jim. Thank you very, very much for that. That's magic. Thank you very much. Scotia, sorry.
It's an interesting point you raised there, Carney, because I think if you get to the end of the season and we draw it and you look back and we've been successful in the title, then yes, within hindsight, then a draw isn't the worst thing in the world. But right now, in the here and now, it is a must win. If we drop points, if the worst comes to worst and we get beat tomorrow night, then that gives, I can't see Celtic dropping points at home against Livingston tomorrow night. So then they're right back up in front of us again. So we kind of lose that momentum that we gained with their game being postponed last week. So right now it is a must win, but I do get your point that given, like, obviously you look what happened last week with Hearts getting beat against St Mirren, these things are going to be happening. I think I've said before, there are going to be bumps for all three teams that are chasing for this. And if you look at Motherwell are only 5 points off Celtic as well. I mean, it's not as if they're usually around about this time of the season, you find ourselves in Celtic quite comfortably at 20 points a minimum above the teams in third and below. It is very tight this season for various factors that we've discussed throughout the season. So for me, it is a must win. Ali summed it up pretty well there. I think if you look at the kind of form table or the league table since Danny Röhl came in, we're obviously the best team. I think Motherwell are probably the second best team. I might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure what they've been doing quietly under the radar a wee bit, if you want to say, given that the focus has been on ourselves, Celtic and Hearts. They've been doing extremely well this season. So it's going to be a very, very difficult game for us. But I'm confident given the way that we've been playing recently.
Sorry, Scotia. Motherwell haven't played a game in 2 weeks as well, remember? Do you think that's an advantage to us or them?
At this stage of the season, I don't think so.
Because they've been playing really well, Motherwell, and just to have no football for 2 weeks, if you know what I mean.
It's one of these ones that it's always a kind of a double-edged sword kind of thing. It's happened quite a few times towards the end of the season if we've been playing in Europe and stuff. Like, obviously, you remember Manchester, where we had 1 million games within 3 days to play before that game, and then I think Zenit had like a couple of weeks free and stuff. Basically, it's one you look back in hindsight. If you win the game, then it would have been an advantage. If you lose it, it wasn't an advantage. So there's not I don't think there's a correct answer to that.
Yeah, I get that, mate. I get exactly where you're coming from. If we get beat, then it's because Motherwell 2 weeks off. If we win, it's because Motherwell 2 weeks off. So it'll be exactly the same excuse, I suppose. Ryan, your thoughts ahead of tomorrow night?
For me, it feels tomorrow night. I don't know if it's just because it's the first game, but tomorrow night feels bigger than Sunday in some weird way for me. I feel that it will be a huge marker if we win tomorrow because Motherwell are the form team as far as I'm aware in the league. I think they've won like 4 out of the last 5, scored 6 goals. They are a good team, a good footballing team. This manager has clearly come in, been a success, got his philosophy in place, and has 2-3 players that I would take at Ibrox in a second. The striker is somebody I've definitely been asking the question about. The boy that I thought kind of ran the show, and Ali said Motherwell dominated for kind of half an hour of that. I would say I totally agree with that. The boy that dominated that for me was Elijah Just. I think he's got the most assists in the league this season, out of anyone. The last time I checked, he's a boy we'll need to nullify. I think Raskin's got a big game ahead of him tomorrow, and it's kind of timing a game that he needs to step up and grab a man of match performance for me. We need our midfield to start controlling games a bit more, and tomorrow will be a big test for us. But to echo what Ali said, we need to start being a bit more arrogant and thinking this is just another 3 points, and then it's on to the weekend and then another 3 points. It doesn't matter if it's Fir Park, Tynecastle, Easter Road. The only small concern I have is the energy levels at Hibs, whether it was because it was after a European game or not. That cannot be replicated again from the end of the season. If it does, we will drop points. There will be bumps in the road. But I think that tomorrow night needs to be high energy. We need to be at them because they will be well up for that tomorrow because they know and rightfully called out by Scotia, they're still in the race. I know it sounds crazy to say, but it would be arrogant of us to say that, or wrong of us to say, sorry, not arrogant, wrong of us to say that Motherwell aren't having a great season and a win tomorrow puts them up with the other three. So they'll be bang up for us tomorrow, but we have to be as well.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. And I would like to think that Danny Röhl's made that abundantly clear to the Rangers squad that there won't be drop, there won't be slow, there won't be pedestrian. This is going to be hell for leather. This is one of those games where go out there and give it absolutely everything from the get-go, because they're going to do exactly the same to you. Almost a fight fire with fire kind of thing, I suppose, is their stadium will be, I reckon, pretty much full, which doesn't often happen at Fir Park. Again, no disrespect to them, but it'll be pretty much full, and including the home and away support. So yeah, I think it is a very much a fire for fire kind of thing, and I would like to think that Danny Röhl is, as I say, he's drilled these players to make them aware that tomorrow night matters. Tomorrow night is one that really does matter. Yes, it's 3 points. Yes, and that's crucial for us to keep continuing to pick up the 3 points moving forward. But this is a game that you're going to need to be really on it, boys. Like, you're really going to need to be on it, because they've been playing pretty good football. But go and do our thing, play to the best of our ability, and I think we take care of business. I do. And as arrogant as that is, tough. I'm a Rangers fan. I'll always think that. We'll finish up with teams and scores. I think we will all pick the same team here. I'll be shocked if we do not. So I will start. No, I won't. I'll let Ali start. Ali, you go first.
Butland in goal. Back four. Sterling comes back in. Suter, Fernandez, Romans. The midfield three is interesting, but I think middle at the front, we need legs and energy. So my midfield three, some may say it might be slightly negative, but I don't think, because players can play other positions. I think it would be Chukwani, Diamande, Raskin is the three. I think Nadiri has got to play up top. Skov Olsen on the other side, and Mikey Moore kind of floating on the left-hand side just behind. That would be my team for tomorrow night. I think they'll score Motherwell. I'll go 2-1 Rangers, Nadiri to get the first goal.
I agree with everything barring Diomande, and I'm not doing it because anything about Diomande. I think he'll play Chukwani, Raskin, and I would love for him to play Mikey Moore in the 10. I'd play Gassama on the left, I'd play Skov Olsen on the right, and I'd play Nadiri through the middle. That's the team that I would
agree. I agree with that. I would play that personally as well. I think
that's a statement, that lineup, but for him to go, he's going, we're coming here to beat you. Do you know what I mean? We are coming here to win this game of football.
Yeah, I agree, but I still think with the three of Diamande, Chukwani, and Ras, it gives you a protection to a point, but I think Diamande's been one of our best midfielders at the moment. I don't think Raskin's been pulling up threes at the moment, if I'm being honest about it. Diamande, for me, probably should start above Raskin, but as we know, Raskin will start. So, yeah, I agree with you in terms of that's probably what I would pick. He would go fire with fire, but I just think he may go with the team I said.
Interesting, as I say. I get what I can see your argument, mate, 100%, but I want a statement of going, we're coming here to beat you. That's what I want to see when I see the lineup, is we're coming here to win. So that's the team I would go with. I'll go for 3-1 Rangers, and I'll go for Skov Olsen to get the first goal. Scotia? Nearly a mistake.
Sorry.
Nearly.
I know, I'm
close.
struggling to unmute that. Ali said he would be shocked if we don't all pick the same team, so be prepared to be shocked, because Carney's already picked a different team, and mine's is slightly different. But what
he's going two up top. He's going two up top.
What I will say is, when I was thinking about this today, there's quite a few different kind of players that you could play, ways you could play. That we've got at the minute, which is good to see, because for too often this season it's kind of been what you would expect to start, but I think there's a few different things that you could go with tomorrow. Sorry, I'm going with Butland in goals. My back line's slightly different. I'm going Sterling, Suter, Giga, and Romans. It's just because I don't know how. I know he said Fernandez will be fit, but how fit will he be? I maybe think he maybe come on later on in the game, should things be going well. I'm going for a midfield of Diamande, Raskin, and Moore. Under no circumstances in this game can Asgard start this game. I don't think
I
They could slow
100%
it down
agree.
too much for me.
100% agree.
I'm not writing Asgard off, by the way, but I don't think this is the game for him to be starting.
I am.
I would have.
I'm writing him off.
I'd have Olsen on the right. I was going to go with Ant-Man on the left, but I don't think he will. I think it'll be Gassama and Nadiri through the middle. I'm going 2-1 winning Nadiri to score first. And what I would say as well is I'm also thinking about he might potentially see a 3-5-2 with the weekend in mind as well. I don't know about you guys think.
Don't know if I'm a fan of it because as I say, I know it's slightly too containing at times for me, as I say, and on
that I would have Ant-Man as your right wing back, which I think gives you a wee bit more going forward.
Yeah, possibly.
Just
you could do that, mate. But I'm full Haymarch, mate. I'm attack. I really am. Ryan, you got a different squad after me saying that we're all going to pick the same team?
Yeah, I'm playing 2 banks of 5, Carney. No striker tomorrow night. No, you know, I don't know why, and this could be a completely poor shout for me, so I'll take it and just put it down to a rookie mistake. I've not been on the pod for a while.
You play Negri? Is Negri starting? Are you picking Marco Negri, are you?
One of the best strikers of our team. Is the new left back going to be fit enough to start again? I've got a wee feeling in me that he's come back from injury. We've eased him in. He looks great. I like it. Is he? I don't know. There's a wee thing in me that makes me think McGowan's going to start tomorrow night. I could be a mile off. Here, lads. I like the ball. I like Romans. I've nothing against him. Just because when he signed, but easing him back in, it's just a wee thing in it that makes me think McGowan might start. Well, just edit that out if it doesn't happen. Sterling, Suter, Fernandes, and my 2 midfielders are Chikwani and Raskin. Diamante does not get a start. My 2 wingers are Olsen and Ant-Man. I'm playing Moore in the 10 and Nadiri up top. I think there's got to be runners off this big guy. Attack. But that's what I'm going for. The Raskin and Chikwani sitting, and the wingers and Moore. And I agree, Asgard for me boys would not even get a ticket in with the fans tomorrow night, I'm afraid.
Right? What's your score prediction, right?
It's going to be 2-0. Nadiri will get the 2 of them.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take any of it. I thought we would generally all pick my team, and not being arrogant. I just thought we would all pick my team, and but I can see it all. I can see views from all of it, but I think we're all pretty certain on one thing, is that not Majowski and not Asgard tomorrow. It's really not the game for them. It really isn't. Let's go with the strongest possible 11 we can go with and go there to make a statement. This is not a game, in my opinion, for rotations and sports science. This is not what this is for. This is a win tomorrow night, and a good win for Rangers tomorrow night. Everybody's got to sit up and take notice of that. So the opportunity is there. It's time for Rangers to go and get it. Let's go. I'm buzzing for it. I really can't wait. That'll do us for tonight. Thank you, chat, for tuning in. Very much appreciate it. Ali, for tonight, for joining me. Thank you very much. Still nothing each, by the way.
Still, it's half time, 0-0. It's Tynecastle, so I'll go and watch the second half of that and see what happens there. But regardless of what happens there, we need to take care of ourselves tomorrow at Fir Park. So I just hope Rangers are on it for the first minute, Carney. I can't stand watching Rangers not come out the traps again in a league game. So I think Danny Röhl will have them wound up. The carrot's there in terms of Sunday. If they win the 2 games, they can potentially go top of the league. Do they want it? For me, we'll find all that out tomorrow night. But looking forward to it.
Yeah, Scotia, thanks very much, mate. You're on mute. There you go. There he is.
Can't go a pod. I mean, you done it last week, Carney. So
I did, mate. I've got an excuse. I've got to do a million things at the one time, mate. So
sorry, I was kind of checking scores in this Premier League and the Hearts game as well there. No, sorry. Thank you, Carney. Thank you, lads, and thank you, listeners. It's been a good week chat there. And like Ali says, these are the first of 2 massive games this week. Again, really looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll come out the end of it tomorrow night with 3 points.
Here is hoping, mate. And Ryan, thank you, mate.
Thank you. Can't be too hard on Scotia. He did drop in a word microcosmic during that pod there, which was very impressive and didn't raise an eyebrow from anyone. I was like, is this the standard this pod's at now? Thank you, everybody. Ended it, listened. I want to get this shirt away. I did say at the beginning of the pod the details, so I won't bore everyone with that one, but thanks for listening, and let's hope Rangers can do it tomorrow night.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Let's hope you're seeing some smiling faces tomorrow night after the game. But yeah, it's crunch time, it's go time, and yeah, we will be back, of course, with a reaction pod, win, lose, or draw. But I very much hope it is a win. Again, thank you for tuning in. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff, and we'll speak to you tomorrow night. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.